I cut my hair. I chopped like 4 inches off my hair this week. If you're seeing this and you are considering chopping your hair off, this is your sign to do it. Let's get into the video. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. If you are coming from TikTok or Instagram, welcome to the YouTube side of things. If you just found me on YouTube, welcome. Check out my social medias. I'm much more active on TikTok and Instagram. There, my TikTok and my Instagram are right here. Today, I wanted to do something a little different. I have been seeing the comfort tag going around on Instagram for a while now, for like months. And I was going to make a post about the comfort tag and do it as an Instagram post, which I probably still will do because I think it's cute, but I thought it would be fun to do it as a YouTube tag. It might already be one, but if not, I'm starting it. Here we are. I'll look into it and see if this is already a thing. If it is, this is my contribution to the comfort tag. If you're unfamiliar with the comfort tag, it is just you talking about books, TV, movies, songs, stuff like that, entertainment that you're kind of obsessed with that brings you comfort. And I have a lot of those, a lot of great recommendations I have in front of me. I'm excited to share with you guys. And I think this will give you a little bit better of an idea of who I am, what I enjoy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to do this. It's a little bit more of like a relaxed video, low-key. Let's just jump right in. I'm not supposed to be drinking coffee because I have Crohn's, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to start off with music. I have a lot of songs / albums that bring me a lot of comfort, nostalgia, happiness, all that fun stuff. So the first one we have is Paris by the 1975. I'm a big fan of the 1975. It is one of my biggest life regrets that I did not go see them live when they were in my city. I don't know why I didn't. This song is incredible. Like, I will never skip this song when it comes on. It's beautifully written. The words are so weird and so out there at some points, and it's just phenomenal. Like, it is just phenomenal. If you haven't heard it, give it a listen. The next song is Vienna by Billy Joel. I feel like this is a comfort, nostalgic song for a lot of people. I don't think I've ever listened to it with dry eyes. I think I cry every time I hear it, but like a good cry, it's like a cry that needs to come out, and for that reason, it's comforting. Next, we have Beach Baby by Bon Iver. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Maybe it's Bon Iver. This is like a warm hug. It makes me feel like a beach baby. I don't know what that even means. It just makes me feel like I am at the beach on a blanket being swaddled. I'm gonna move on from that. Next, we have This Is Me Trying by Taylor Swift. That one just hits home for me. The lyrics, I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. I could keep going. I think I could name every single lyric from that song. Hits home. A little too close to home, but it's still comforting. Next we have All Yourn by Tyler Childers. If you've never heard that song, it's this guy from West Virginia, so it's like country, but it's kind of like country folk. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just comforting for me. I don't really know if it's comforting for other people, but I just like it. It makes me feel happy. I don't know. Next we have the entire Elvis movie soundtrack, which I guess is just Elvis's songs, but specifically the movie soundtrack in order. If you have been around for a while, you recall the Elvis phase that I went through this year, so there's not really much explanation needed there. It's just comforting. Next, we have the Endless Love movie soundtrack. If you've never seen Endless Love, I'm talking about the 2014 version specifically. This soundtrack is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It has the best songs. Watch the movie and then listen to the soundtrack on repeat. You won't regret it. Finally, 2 musicals. We have Les Mis. I have been obsessed with Les Mis since I was in like 7th grade. I think I could sing every single song. And also we have Hamilton. I went through a bit of a Hamilton phase in high school, and then again like this past year, or like 2 years ago when it came out on Disney Plus. And it's my life goal to see Hamilton on Broadway. And Les Mis, I guess. So. Okay, that's everything for songs. All right, next I'm going to go into movies. Les Mis, That is an extreme comfort movie. I love it. I cry every time I watch it. I sing the whole movie. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. I made my boyfriend watch the entire movie with me and he liked it. So that is your sign. If you are not a musical person, try it out. Except I did go and see it in the movies when it first came out, and I brought my friend Hannah with me, and she did sleep through, I'm pretty sure, the entire 3 hours. If you're watching this and you are Hannah, this is me thanking you again for coming with me, and you should try to watch it one more time. Next we have The Great Gatsby, the Leonardo DiCaprio version. I know Leonardo DiCaprio is really problematic with his choice in women. I still love him. Sorry, I really do, and it's problematic of me to love him, but like I have just this emotional attachment to him because another comfort movie I have is Titanic. I watched it, I'm not kidding, like every day for like 3 years of my life when I was like 7. I don't know why, and I don't know why my parents actually let that happen, because that's like a very traumatizing movie. That's another conversation, but I just have like this emotional attachment to any Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and him in The Great Gatsby, incredible. Next we have Interstellar. If you have not seen Interstellar, this is like a movie set somewhere in the future, the very near future, where the world is almost uninhabitable, and we have Matthew McConaughey, who lives on this farm with his 2 children and his mother. The world is like very, very quickly deteriorating. They are farmers, everybody's a farmer. It's about Matthew McConaughey, he's the father, and he stumbles upon this NASA mission to save mankind by transporting them to another planet. I don't want to say too much because it'll give away like the plot, what's going on. So it's about his experience working with NASA. He gets sent into space with a team of researchers to figure out how to get to this new planet through like this wormhole in space. If you're like a space nerd, you're gonna totally love it. It's so cool. And you'll cry. You will cry your little eyes out. I don't care if you're not a crier, you will cry. It's sad as can be, but it's incredible. And it's a little bit scary because it's possible. Very, very possible. Next we have Notting Hill. This is Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. It is a rom-com. I actually have my friend Hannah to thank for my obsession with this movie, the Hannah who fell asleep during Les Mis. This is one of like her all-time favorite movies, and I started watching it because of her, and it is just phenomenal. So it's about this London bookstore owner, Hugh Grant, and Julia Roberts plays this famous movie star, and she walks into his bookstore in London, and things just kind of snowball from there, their relationship together, and it's just like so funny and romantic. You have like this very lonely, oddball bookstore owner and this American movie star. Phenomenal. Next we have Confessions of a Shopaholic. I'm not really sure why this is on here. I watched this in middle school for the first time in like a financial literacy class or something. I didn't take financial literacy in middle school, so I forget what class it was, but I remember watching it in middle school for like finance reasons. Like it was kind of supposed to like scare you because the woman's like in extreme credit card debt, and it's all about her experience being in debt and like running from it, and she's lying to all these people, but it's so good. Like it is just so comforting. She's adorable, the actress. I forget what her name is, but she's just the best. It's a really good movie. It's like a rom-com. If you're looking for a rom-com and you've never seen it, check that out. Okay, next we have Elvis, obviously. If you have been here, it's kind of embarrassing for me to even still be talking about this because I've talked about it so much. I was truly obsessed with the Elvis movie when it came out this year. I think I went to the movies 8 times, and then I bought it before it came out on Amazon Prime or wherever it is for $20 because I couldn't wait until it came out for free. And I watched it probably 5 times through that with my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, everybody who would listen to me and watch it. I made watch it, and then it came out on HBO Max. That's where it came out. So now I have a bought copy for $25, and I can also watch it for free on HBO Max because I just have no patience. And I still watch it pretty often. It's just, I don't care what you have to say about Austin Butler and his stupid method acting. I love him. I will go to the grave defending his method acting because it worked. We have A Beautiful Boy. I don't really know if this is comforting, but I'm still going to talk about it. This is Timothée Chalamet and Steve Carell. Timothée Chalamet is playing Steve Carell's son, who is battling drug addiction. It's heartbreaking. If you can watch this movie and not cry, something is wrong with you. It is really sad, and Timothée Chalamet just plays this part like almost disturbingly well. Steve Carell plays this part incredibly well. Like, I'm so used to him being funny, but he plays like a grief-stricken, confused, frustrated parent so well. He's so loving, he's so kind, like he's just such a good dad in it. It's so good. Next we have the whole entire Harry Potter series. There's really not much to say there. My family's a Harry Potter family. Some people are, some people aren't. My boyfriend's family, not a Harry Potter family. I made him watch all of the Harry Potters like 3 years ago, and now he is a Harry Potter fan, just as I am. I don't think anybody who's seen the movies is not a Harry Potter fan. I think you just have to be introduced properly. So here's me introducing you. Another movie is 10 Things I Hate About You. This is like, I have my 10 Things I Hate About You poster right there. This is with Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger, and it's like your basic enemies to lovers plot line. We have like this bad boy and this like very like emo 2000s loner girl. It's beautiful. So if you're looking for like a romantic comedy, and you have young Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it, so good. This movie, I promise, is Pride and Prejudice. I have seen this 40,000 times. I put it on at night sometimes to fall asleep to because it brings me so much love and warmth and comfort. If you've never seen Pride and Prejudice, please do so. All right, jumping into books. I don't reread books, by the way. Like, I never reread any books. So all of these I have only read once. They just like feel like a warm hug when I think about it. So if that makes any sense to you, that's what we're basing this off of. So the first one, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Just so comforting. I listened to the audiobook and I loved it. Next we have the Selection series. I read this a couple years ago. It's probably a little bit problematic looking back on it. I don't even remember half of the things that happened in the book, but I just remember loving it, and I read them so fast. Like, it just felt like I was like a kid again. I don't know. I really liked it. Next we have Anastasia by Sophie Lark. I read this very recently. I read it last month, and when I read books, it's very rare that like I can't stop thinking about them. Like, it doesn't really happen that often because I have like ADHD, and I'm just like, okay, next book. Like, I just need to keep moving. But I have thought about Anastasia probably every day because the way it was written was just so beautiful. And it was so long. It was like 800 pages, and it went through so much. Like, I feel like I lived Anastasia's life. Well, not really, because she lived a really sad life, but I feel like I went through all of it with her, and it really stuck with me. It's just very comforting, and I actually think I would like to reread it. Next we have the Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows series, both of them. I like read those very early into like my reemergence into the book world, and they like really got me back into fantasy, so I have like a very deep connection with them. They just like enlightened like a love for books again in me, so I'm just very connected to that whole thing, as well as the Three Dark Crowns series by Kendare Blake that I read like almost at the same time as Shadow and Bone, and it just like reminds me of like falling in love with reading again, so it just makes me happy. Next we have The Court of Thorns and Roses, that whole entire series. I didn't finish it, I only read the first 3, but they're just like very, I don't think I'd ever reread them because it took me so long to read each book. The thought of them feels very comforting. I read them in the summer, which a lot of people say they read in the winter because it feels like winter books, but to me it feels like summer. So I read them when it was warm out and I would lay outside, and it just feels comforting to me. Next we have Book Lovers. That's like the only romance I have on here. It just felt so cozy to me. Like, the small town bookstore vibes was everything I needed, and I loved it. Okay, and finally we are on to TV shows. This is the last segment I'll do. There is a wide array of different shows. I'm just gonna go through them in no particular order. First we have Abbott Elementary. I started watching this like a month ago, and I finished it in like 2 days. There's only 2 seasons, so you will fly through it as well. It's so good. It's like a sitcom show about this public school in Philly, and I'm from like right outside of Philly, so it's just like funny to me because all of the teachers have like such Philly personalities and like remind me of people I know, so I don't know, it's just comforting to me. But the show is so good. Even if you're not from the area, obviously, you will love it. I love the principal. She's so funny. And the jokes hit. Like, the jokes are so good. Okay, next we have The Middle. This is like a sitcom from, I don't know, like 2010s. It's pretty outdated and like probably a bit problematic, but I used to watch it like when I was like 10ish, I guess, because that's like when it came out, with my mom, so it's like comforting to me. I just started rewatching it like this past week, and I like put it on. I need TV on when I go to bed because I'm psycho, and I like watch it while I fall asleep. It's just funny. It's very funny. It's about like this very white family from, I want to say, Indiana, and it's like their town, like it's very white, like it's just very white and problematic, but it's like funny. Like, they know they're problematic. Like, the show knows they're problematic, you know what I mean? Next we have The Office, probably the most popular comedy. I specifically love the first like 6 seasons, I think. If you've seen it, you know why. The people are all so unique. Like, these characters are all so out there. It's just phenomenal. Next we have That 70s Show. I have my That 70s Show poster right there. I love this show. This follows a group of like teens in the 70s, and they basically just get high and live their life. And it's incredible. Okay, next we have Rain. I have a hard time talking about this because whoever's in charge of where shows are decided to remove it from every single platform. And I haven't been able to watch it in like months and months and months, and it breaks my heart because I need to do a rewatch at least every year, and I haven't been able to. If I want to, I have to spend like $20 per season. Not in this climate, not with inflation. I can't do that these days. Rain is about Mary, Queen of Scots, and her life in the French court and in Scotland, and it is phenomenal. If you are a fan of historical fictions and period pieces, you will love it. Even if you're not a fan of them, like if you're just a fan of like drama and romance, you will love it. It is so good. So good. And I'm in love with Francis. He is the best. Okay, next we have Gossip Girl. I'm talking about like the OG Gossip Girl. I have not seen the reboot Gossip Girl. It just got canceled actually, which is unfortunate. But I will be watching it one day. Just I haven't had like an urge to click on it yet. But I heard it's really good, and it shouldn't have been advertised as like a reboot Gossip Girl. It should have just been like in and of itself. And I kind of agree with that because I felt like turned off from it because of its branding as a Gossip Girl reboot, because I kind of like didn't care for a Gossip Girl reboot. Like, I was good without It. So that's in and of itself. But Gossip Girl is about this group of extremely wealthy high schoolers on the Upper East Side in New York City. They all go to like this prestigious prep school, and they are so spoiled and problematic and rude, and they just cause all these problems, and it's about all their lives, and it's so good. It doesn't really age well, to be honest. Most of these shows and movies do not, but they are comforting still. Next we have Game of Thrones. I just finished this probably like a month or 2 ago, and I can't believe it took me that long to watch it, like to get to it, because I loved it. I was one of those people where I was like, I just don't think it's a show for me. Like, I just don't think I would like it. But I can't believe I felt that way. Like, I cannot believe I felt that way because I loved the show. The plot, the characters, the setting, the action, the romance. Oh my god, so good. So good. So if you're one of those people who is like, I just don't think it's the show for me, like I don't think I would like it, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. Next we have Teen Wolf. I was obsessed with Teen Wolf. Obsessed with it. My freshman year of high school, I would wake up like an hour before I had to actually wake up for school. So that's like 5:30. Like, that is early as shit, just so I could watch an episode, because it was all I thought about. I have never been obsessed with a show like that again. Like, I love shows, but like I will not wake up before I have to wake up to watch it. Like, that was actually bizarre that I did that, but I did. I had like this sweatshirt that said McCall on the back because his name's Scott McCall, I think. I wore it to school like at least once a week. there was actually a kid who went to my school whose last name was McCall, and that was awkward because a lot of people were like, oh, is that da-da-da McCall's? Are you wearing his sweater? And I'm like, no, this is Teen Wolf, no. And finally, we have Gilmore Girls. There's my Gilmore Girls poster. I love Gilmore Girls. It's also problematic. So many of these shows are problematic. I just think that's important to acknowledge. They are problematic. But it is just a cup of hot chocolate, a cup of coffee in front of a fireplace and a blanket and Gilmore Girls, and you are set for life. Like, that is just like the ultimate comfort. It's about this mom and daughter who live in like this extremely small town where everybody knows each other, and it's almost comical how well everyone knows each other. It's about their lives in this small town, and there's romance, and like it's actually pretty like in-depth, the plot. Like, it's not just like surface level. And, like, these characters are annoying as hell and they make dumb decisions, and you'll love them nonetheless. These are all of my comfort shows, movies, books, and songs, and I hope that you got some recommendations out of this. If not, I hope you enjoyed me rambling about it for 4 hours. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any recommendations, songs, movies, books, TV shows, any of those, make sure you leave those in the comments, because I am constantly watching, listening, reading something. So please send me your recommendations. I promise I will get around to them eventually. And that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out my other social medias, Emily's Books on TikTok and Instagram right here. And that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week.